Embedded within the linear concept of time is the myth of arrival, the belief that one day in some distant future, we will finally reach a state of permanent satisfaction. This myth drives our relentless pursuit of goals, our fixation on progress, and our constant striving for more. From childhood, we are conditioned to believe in the promise of tomorrow, where all our struggles will be rewarded and our desires fulfilled. At the core of our human experience lies a pervasive illusion, the illusion of separation. From birth, we are taught to perceive ourselves as isolated individuals navigating a vast and indifferent world. This illusion, while seemingly real, is a construct of the mind, perpetuated by our cultural conditioning and social norms. To truly understand liberation through awareness, we must first grasp the essence of what awareness entails. Awareness is not a passive state of knowing, but a dynamic engagement with the present moment. It is the awakened state where we transcend our habitual patterns of thought and perception, allowing us to perceive reality as it truly is, interconnected, vibrant, and ever-evolving. Central to these teachings is the recognition of the illusion of separation. From early childhood, we are conditioned to perceive ourselves as isolated individuals navigating a vast and often hostile world. This sense of separateness breeds fear, competition, and the relentless pursuit of self-preservation. However, we are invited to consider an alternative perspective, that beneath the surface of individuality lies a profound unity with all of existence. Imagine, if you will, a wave in the ocean. From a superficial viewpoint, the wave appears separate, distinct, and vulnerable to its surroundings. Yet upon closer inspection, we realize that the wave is not separate from the ocean, but an inseparable expression of its vastness. In the same way, each of us is a unique manifestation of the universe, intricately woven into the tapestry of life itself. Awareness unveils the dance of interconnectedness that permeates every facet of existence. Just as the branches of a tree are interconnected with its roots and leaves, so too are we interconnected with each other, with nature, and with the cosmos at large. This web of interdependence extends beyond the boundaries of space and time, transcending our limited perceptions of self and other. In these teachings, we find that we do not come into this world, we come out of it, as leaves from a tree. As the ocean waves the universe peoples, every individual is an expression of the whole realm of nature, a unique action of the total universe. One of the greatest barriers to liberation is dualistic thinking, the tendency to perceive reality in terms of opposites, good and bad, self and other, success and failure. This dichotomous view perpetuates a sense of conflict and separation, trapping us in a cycle of striving and suffering. Liberation through awareness involves transcending these dualities and embracing the underlying unity that binds all things together. These teachings often use the analogy of the Chinese philosophy of yin and yang to illustrate this concept. Yin and yang are complementary forces that interact to form a dynamic and harmonious whole. Just as day gives way to night and winter yields to spring, so too do opposites coalesce in a seamless dance of existence. Through awareness, we recognize that every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, contributes to the richness and diversity of life. At the heart of liberation through awareness lies the playful nature of consciousness itself. Life is not a serious endeavor, but a cosmic play of light and shadow, joy and sorrow, creation and dissolution. Like children immersed in a game of make-believe, we are invited to participate fully in the unfolding drama of existence, without attachment to outcomes or expectations. In these teachings, we often find the metaphor of the cosmic dance, a spontaneous and joyous expression of divine creativity. Just as a dancer loses themselves in the rhythm of music, so too do we dissolve into the boundless expanse of consciousness when we relinquish the need to control or define our experience. Liberation through awareness is not about striving to attain a distant goal or idealized state of being. It is about recognizing that our true nature is already whole and complete, untouched by the transient fluctuations of life. These teachings frequently speak of the paradox of effortless effort, the notion that true liberation arises when we cease resisting the flow of existence and instead surrender to the innate wisdom of the universe. This paradox challenges the prevailing cultural narrative of achievement and success, which often equates fulfillment with external accomplishments or material possessions. In contrast, liberation through awareness invites us to cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and contentment that transcends the fleeting pleasures of worldly pursuits. Central to the path of liberation through awareness is the practice of meditation and contemplation. These ancient disciplines offer a gateway into the depths of consciousness, allowing us to quiet the incessant chatter of the mind and attune ourselves to the subtle rhythms of existence. These teachings often compare meditation to the art of listening not with the ears, but with the entirety of our being. Through meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment or attachment, cultivating a spacious awareness that embraces both the light and shadow within us. Beyond the meditation cushion, liberation through awareness unfolds in the tapestry of everyday life. It is expressed in the simple act of savoring a cup of tea, feeling the warmth of the sun on our skin, or listening attentively to the laughter of loved ones. Each moment becomes an invitation to awaken to the beauty and wonder that permeate our existence, regardless of circumstances or external conditions. These teachings encourage us to approach life with a sense of curiosity and openness, viewing each experience as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. In doing so, we cultivate a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things and recognize our role as co-creators in the unfolding story of the universe. True liberation through awareness involves relinquishing the attachments and identities that bind us to limited concepts of self. These teachings often speak of the ego as a mental construct that creates a false sense of separation and identity. By transcending the egoic mind, we open ourselves to the boundless expanse of consciousness, where distinctions between self and other dissolve into pure awareness. Non-attachment does not imply indifference or detachment from life. Rather, it signifies a profound acceptance of the impermanent nature of existence and a willingness to embrace the ebb and flow of experience with grace and equanimity. In letting go of our attachments to outcomes and expectations, we discover a profound sense of freedom that transcends the fluctuations of pleasure and pain. Central to liberation through awareness is the practice of letting go, releasing our grip on the incessant desire for control and certainty. These teachings often use the metaphor of the river to illustrate this principle. The river flows effortlessly towards the ocean, surrendering to the natural currents and obstacles along its path. In the same way, we are invited to surrender to the unfolding mystery of life, trusting in the inherent wisdom of existence to guide us towards our highest potential. Letting go is not a passive act of resignation, but an active surrender to the flow of existence. It requires courage and humility to release our attachments to outdated beliefs, roles, and identities that no longer serve our growth and evolution. In doing so, we create space for new possibilities to emerge and for our authentic self to shine forth. At the heart of liberation through awareness lies the recognition of our essential unity with all of existence. These teachings often speak of the interdependent co-arising of phenomena, the interconnected web of relationships that sustains the fabric of reality. From the smallest atom to the farthest galaxy, everything is interconnected and interdependent, forming a seamless tapestry of life. This profound insight challenges the prevailing worldview of separation and division, inviting us to embrace a holistic perspective that transcends the limitations of egoic consciousness. When we awaken to our intrinsic unity with all beings, we recognize that every thought, word, and action reverberates throughout the interconnected web of life, shaping the collective destiny of humanity and the planet. Liberation through awareness extends beyond personal transformation to encompass our relationship with the natural world. These teachings often emphasize the importance of living in harmony with nature, recognizing our role as stewards of the Earth's delicate ecosystems. From the majesty of mountains to the delicate beauty of flowers, every aspect of nature reflects the interconnectedness and interdependence of all life forms. In today's rapidly changing world, these teachings on ecological consciousness and sustainability resonate more deeply than ever before. They urge us to cultivate a deep reverence for the natural world and to take proactive steps towards preserving its biodiversity and ecological balance. By aligning our actions with the principles of interconnectedness and sustainability, we contribute to the well-being of future generations and honor the sacredness of life in all its forms. In concluding our exploration of liberation through awareness, let us reflect on the paradoxical nature of the spiritual journey. These teachings often speak of the pathless path. The notion that true liberation cannot be attained through striving or effort, but through a profound surrender to the present moment. It is not a destination to be reached, but a continuous unfolding of self-discovery and awakening. The pathless path invites us to embrace the uncertainty and unpredictability of life with courage and humility. It challenges us to release our attachments to fixed identities and beliefs, allowing us to navigate the ever-changing currents of existence with grace and equanimity. In doing so, we rediscover the joy of being alive and the profound interconnectedness that unites us with all of creation. To grasp the illusion of boundaries, one must comprehend their inherent nature. From infancy, we enter a world defined by distinctions self and other, here and there, now and later. These distinctions provide structure and order to our existence, yet beneath their apparent clarity lies a deeper truth. Boundaries are constructs of the mind, not immutable features of reality. Reality, as we perceive it, emerges from the mind's creative act. Like an artist with a canvas, we use language, concepts, and categories to carve our experiences into manageable forms. Consider the power of naming by assigning a label to something: a tree, a river, a person. We draw a boundary around it, defining its identity and separating it from everything else. This naming process is essential for communication and practicality, but also reinforces the illusion of solidity in these distinctions. Language plays a pivotal role in perpetuating the illusion of boundaries. Words are not merely neutral symbols, but carriers of cultural meanings, associations, and emotional resonances. When we utter tree, for instance, we evoke a mental image complete with characteristics and context within our conceptual framework. This process of categorization extends beyond objects to encompass emotions, thoughts, and our sense of self. Statements like "I feel joyful" or "I am anxious" establish boundaries around our emotional states, reinforcing our sense of identity. At the heart of the illusion of boundaries lies the dualistic nature of human cognition. Our minds perceive reality through a lens of opposites, good and bad, self and other, right and wrong. This dualistic thinking shapes our understanding of the world and ourselves, fostering a sense of separation and division. It is this dualism that often fuels conflict, suffering, and misunderstandings, as we perceive ourselves as distinct entities isolated from the interconnected web of existence. If boundaries are products of dualistic thinking, liberation from them requires transcending this dualism. Alan Watts frequently emphasized the interconnectedness of all things, challenging the notion of absolute boundaries and advocating for a fluid, permeable understanding. Eastern philosophies like Zen and Taoism echo this sentiment through the concept of non-duality, the realization that apparent distinctions are ultimately illusions. Taoism illustrates the interplay of opposites through yin and yang. Yin symbolizes darkness, receptivity, and the feminine, while yang embodies light, activity, and the masculine. These complementary forces interdependently merge and flow into each other, illustrating the Tao Te Ching's teaching that embracing yin and yang allows one to appreciate life's fluidity and transcend rigid boundaries. Zen Buddhism employs koans enigmatic statements or questions to challenge dualistic thinking and provoke insight. Consider the classic koan, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" Such inquiries defy logical analysis, encouraging practitioners to experience direct realization beyond conceptual boundaries. Through meditation and contemplation, Zen masters guide students towards experiencing non-duality, where subject and object merge in undivided awareness. One of the most profound illusions is that of the separate self, or ego. From childhood, we learn to identify with our thoughts, feelings, and physical bodies, reinforcing the belief in a distinct I separate from others. This illusion spawns desires, fears, and attachments as we strive to protect and enhance our fragile sense of identity. Alan Watts argued persuasively that the ego is a social and psychological construct, a mask adopted to navigate human interactions and complexities. If boundaries are constructs of the mind, liberation entails expanding awareness beyond these constructs. This journey begins with mindfulness, the practice of non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Through mindfulness meditation, we cultivate a spacious mind that observes thoughts, emotions, and sensations without grasping or identifying with them. In this open awareness, boundaries gradually dissolve, revealing the interconnected unity underlying all phenomena. Many mystical traditions advocate for universal consciousness, a shared field of interconnected awareness transcending individual minds. This concept suggests that beneath the diverse appearances of the world lies a fundamental unity, where distinctions between self and other dissolve into pure awareness. Alan Watts described this unity as the web of life where every thread contributes to the whole. Relationships provide fertile ground for exploring the illusion of boundaries. Whether with intimate partners, family, or friends, interactions serve as mirrors reflecting our interconnectedness. These encounters can reinforce a sense of separation or reveal deeper connections based on empathy and mutual understanding. Through compassionate listening and genuine presence, we transcend ego-driven separateness and cultivate relationships rooted in shared humanity. Ecological consciousness encompasses awareness of the intricate interdependence among all life forms and ecosystems on Earth. It surpasses environmentalism by embracing a deep understanding of our role as stewards of the planet and our responsibility to future generations. This section delves into the philosophical foundations, practical implications, and spiritual dimensions of ecological consciousness. Ecological consciousness challenges Cartesian dualism by recognizing humans as integral parts of nature rather than separate entities. This perspective advocates for a holistic worldview that respects the intrinsic value and rights of all living beings and ecosystems. Arrhenius, founder of Deep Ecology, advocated for a radical shift towards ecological awareness. Deep Ecology urges a restructuring of human societies based on ecological balance and sustainability, promoting an ecosophy that guides actions towards nurturing Earth's ecosystems. Ecological science employs systems thinking to highlight the complexity and interconnectedness of natural systems. It encourages viewing ecosystems as dynamic networks, where changes in one part ripple throughout the whole, challenging reductionist approaches. Ecological consciousness translates into concrete actions for environmental sustainability. From personal lifestyle choices to global policies, initiatives aim to minimize ecological footprints and promote biodiversity conservation. Individual practices such as reducing consumption, recycling, and adopting renewable energy sources contribute to ecological sustainability and resource conservation. At broader scales, ecological consciousness influences policies addressing biodiversity conservation, climate change mitigation, and sustainable development at local and global levels. Ecological consciousness holds profound spiritual implications, resonating with spiritual traditions viewing nature as sacred and emphasizing interconnectedness. This perspective invites reverence for Earth, seeing it not as a resource, but as a source of inspiration, healing, and spiritual growth. Practices like nature meditation and eco-friendly rituals deepen spiritual connection with nature. Ecopsychology explores the link between mental well-being and the natural environment, advocating for nature-based therapies and communities to enhance emotional resilience. Despite growing awareness, challenges remain in fostering widespread ecological consciousness and enacting transformative change. Anthropocentrism poses a barrier to ecological consciousness by prioritizing human interests over other life forms. Shifting towards biocentric ethics acknowledges the intrinsic value of all beings. Urgent environmental challenges, such as climate change and biodiversity loss, require global cooperation, technological innovation, and equitable solutions. Ecological consciousness prompts a fundamental shift towards harmonious relationships with nature. It invites embracing interconnectedness, sustainability, and reverence for life, ensuring well-being for current and future generations. Our exploration into the enigma of time unveils its profound influence on perceptions and life's trajectory. From birth to death, we're taught the linear progression of time, where each moment propels us towards future aspirations. But is this narrative of progress the essence of life's journey, or does a deeper truth await discovery? To grasp the illusion of progress, we must confront the concept of time itself. Western thought views time as a linear arrow moving from past to present to future, permeating educational, career, and personal aspirations. Life's measure becomes days, months, and years, counting moments toward achievements, happiness, or fulfillment. What if time's essence isn't linear but cyclic, spiral, or dance? Eastern philosophies like Taoism and Zen present time as eternal and cyclical, harmonizing with universal rhythms. Their perspectives invite viewing time as a cosmic symphony, where every instant teems with potential and each breath opens portals to infinite horizons. Embedded in linear time lies the myth of arrival belief that one day, future promises will yield permanent contentment. This myth propels pursuit of goals, fixation on progress, and unceasing striving. From childhood, we're conditioned to anticipate tomorrow's rewards, where struggles culminate in realized desires. At humanity's core lies a pervasive illusion, the perception of isolation. From birth, cultural norms embed a belief in solitary existence amidst an indifferent world. This illusion, though convincing, is a construct of social conditioning and psychological perception. Understanding liberation through awareness demands grasping its essence. Awareness isn't passive knowing but dynamic engagement with the present. It's awakened state transcending habitual thought patterns, perceiving reality's vibrancy, interconnectedness, and evolution. To understand the illusion of boundaries, we must delve deeply into their nature and implications. Boundaries shape our perception of reality from the moment we are born, providing structure and order to our experience of the world. Yet beneath this apparent clarity lies a profound truth. Boundaries are constructs of the mind rather than inherent features of reality itself. Reality, as we perceive it, is a product of mental constructs. Much like an artist painting on a canvas, we use language, concepts, and categorizations to define and separate our experiences into manageable parts. Consider the simple act of naming a tree, a river, a person. Each word creates a boundary around its subject, defining its identity and distinguishing it from everything else. This naming process is essential for communication and practical purposes, yet it also reinforces the illusion of solidity within these boundaries. In essence, our minds impose distinctions where none inherently exist. This process allows us to navigate the world and communicate effectively, but also leads us to perceive these boundaries as absolute truths, rather than fluid interpretations. For example, when we categorize emotions as joy or sadness, we encapsulate complex experiences into discrete labels, reinforcing the illusion of separateness between emotional states. Furthermore, this construction extends beyond objects to include abstract concepts such as time, space, and even the self. Each of these concepts serves to delineate and organize our experience, providing a framework through which we interpret and interact with the world. However, they also contribute to a sense of division and isolation, as we perceive ourselves as distinct entities navigating a universe of separate phenomena. Language plays a pivotal role in shaping and reinforcing the illusion of boundaries. Words are not merely neutral labels, but carry layers of meaning, associations, and cultural contexts. When we use language to describe our experiences, we not only communicate information, but also reinforce our conceptual frameworks and belief systems. Consider the implications of language in defining our sense of self. From an early age, we learn to identify ourselves with words such as I, me, and mine, creating a distinct boundary between our individual identities and the external world. This linguistic construction of selfhood reinforces the illusion of separateness, as we come to view ourselves as isolated entities distinct from others. Moreover, language extends beyond individual identity to encompass societal norms, cultural beliefs, and collective identities. Words like nation, race, and religion create boundaries that define group identities and reinforce divisions among human communities. These linguistic constructs shape our perceptions of belonging and identity, often leading to conflict and division when these boundaries are challenged or contested. At the heart of the illusion of boundaries lies the dualistic nature of human cognition. The dualistic mind perceives reality through a lens of opposites, good and bad, right and wrong, self and other. This binary mode of thinking shapes our understanding of the world and ourselves, creating a sense of separation and division where none inherently exists. Dualistic thinking permeates every aspect of human experience, from personal relationships to global conflicts. It underpins our judgments, preferences, and beliefs as we categorize experiences into dichotomous categories based on perceived differences. This dualism often leads to a fragmented view of reality, as we fail to recognize the interconnectedness and interdependence of all phenomena. Moreover, dualistic thinking contributes to a sense of alienation and isolation, as we perceive ourselves as separate individuals navigating a world of distinct entities. This perception of separateness breeds fear, competition, and conflict as we strive to protect and assert our individual identities in relation to others. If boundaries are constructs of dualistic thinking, then liberation from them lies in transcending this binary mode of perception. Eastern philosophies, such as Zen Buddhism and Taoism, offer profound insights into the nature of non-duality, the realization that all apparent distinctions are ultimately illusory. In Taoism, the concept of yin and yang illustrates the complementary nature of opposites. Yin represents darkness, receptivity, and femininity, while yang symbolizes light, activity, and masculinity. These two forces are interdependent and in constant flux, blending seamlessly into each other to form a harmonious whole. The Tao Te Ching teaches that to perceive the world through the lens of yin and yang is to embrace the fluidity of existence. Rather than viewing opposites as conflicting or separate, Taoist philosophy invites us to recognize their interdependence and mutual co-arising. This perspective challenges the dualistic mindset by revealing the inherent unity that underlies apparent diversity. Furthermore, the concept of yin and yang extends beyond physical phenomena to encompass psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspects of human experience. Each person contains elements of yin and yang within themselves, manifesting as complementary qualities that contribute to their wholeness and balance. By embracing these inner dualities, individuals can cultivate a deeper understanding of themselves and their place within the interconnected web of existence. Zen Buddhism employs koans, paradoxical statements, or questions to transcend dualistic thinking and provoke insight. Consider the famous koan, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" This question defies rational analysis and invites practitioners to experience a moment of direct perception beyond conceptual boundaries. Through meditation and contemplation, Zen masters guide their students towards a direct experience of non-duality, where subject and object merge into undivided awareness. This experiential approach challenges the limitations of language and intellect, encouraging practitioners to transcend dualistic distinctions and embrace the ineffable nature of reality. Moreover, Zen koans highlight the limitations of linear, logical thinking in grasping the fullness of existence. By confronting paradoxes and embracing uncertainty, practitioners can cultivate a state of open-mindedness and receptivity that transcends dualistic categorizations. This process of inquiry and introspection enables individuals to penetrate the veil of illusion and glimpse the underlying unity that connects all beings. One of the most profound illusions perpetuated by dualistic thinking is that of the separate self or ego. From a young age, we are conditioned to identify with our thoughts, emotions, and physical bodies, reinforcing the belief that I am distinct from you and they. This egoic identification creates a sense of separateness and individuality, fueling desires, fears, and attachments in an attempt to secure and enhance its perceived identity. However, as Alan Watts argued, the ego is a social and psychological construct, a mask we wear to navigate the complexities of human interaction. Beneath the surface of egoic identity lies a deeper truth, our interconnectedness with all of existence. By transcending the illusion of the separate self, individuals can cultivate a sense of unity and belonging that transcends dualistic divisions. If boundaries are mental constructs, then the path to liberation lies in expanding our awareness beyond these limitations. This process begins with mindfulness, the practice of non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Through mindfulness meditation and contemplation, individuals can cultivate a spaciousness of mind that allows for the dissolution of boundaries and the recognition of underlying unity. At the heart of many mystical traditions lies the belief in a universal consciousness, a shared, interconnected field of awareness that transcends individual minds. This concept suggests that beneath the surface diversity of the world lies a fundamental unity, where distinctions between self and other, subject and object, dissolve into pure awareness. To expand the mirror of relationship to about 10,000 words, I will delve deeper into the exploration of relationships as mirrors for personal growth, examining various facets, such as romantic partnerships, familial dynamics, friendships, and societal interactions. Here's an expanded outline and content for each subsection. Relationships serve as profound mirrors reflecting our inner world, shaping our identities, and offering opportunities for growth and transformation. Whether intimate, familial, or social, each connection provides insights into our emotional landscape, patterns of behavior, and spiritual evolution. This section explores how relationships act as mirrors, guiding us towards deeper self-awareness and connection with others. In this introductory segment, we set the stage by defining the concept of relationships as mirrors. We explore the metaphorical and psychological dimensions of how interactions with others reflect our inner selves. Drawing from psychological theories and spiritual perspectives, we establish the foundational understanding that relationships are not merely external encounters, but intricate reflections of our internal dynamics. Romantic relationships are often intense mirrors that reflect our deepest desires, fears, and unresolved issues. This subsection delves into the complexities of romantic partnerships, exploring themes such as attraction, intimacy, communication, and conflict resolution. Case studies and psychological theories illuminate how romantic dynamics mirror childhood experiences, attachment styles, and personal growth journeys. In this case study, we analyze John and Sarah's relationship dynamics through the lens of dependency and emotional regulation. Their journey highlights how past traumas and attachment wounds shape present interactions, offering insights into healing and relational transformation. Drawing from attachment theory, we explore how different attachment styles, secure, anxious, avoidant, influence romantic behaviors and relationship outcomes. By understanding attachment dynamics, individuals can cultivate healthier relationships and navigate challenges with greater emotional intelligence. Practical strategies for fostering open communication and emotional vulnerability in romantic partnerships are discussed. Techniques such as active listening, assertiveness training, and conflict resolution skills empower individuals to deepen intimacy and cultivate mutual understanding. Family relationships serve as profound mirrors reflecting generational patterns, cultural influences, and inherited beliefs. This subsection examines the complexities of familial dynamics, exploring themes such as parent-child relationships, sibling rivalries, and intergenerational trauma. Case studies and therapeutic approaches illuminate how familial mirrors offer opportunities for healing, forgiveness, and personal integration. Maria's journey of reconciling with her mother's emotional unavailability and its impact on her sense of self-worth is explored. This case study highlights the transformative power of compassion, boundary setting, and inner child healing in familial relationships. Insights from family systems theory and narrative therapy shed light on how familial dynamics shape individual identity and relational patterns. Techniques such as genogram analysis, role-playing, and reframing empower individuals to rewrite family narratives and cultivate resilience. Practical tools for navigating familial relationships include setting healthy boundaries, practicing forgiveness, and building emotional resilience. Strategies for honoring ancestral wisdom while fostering personal autonomy empower individuals to create supportive family dynamics and cultivate intergenerational healing. Friendships serve as mirrors of authentic connection, reflecting shared values, personal growth, and mutual support. This subsection explores the dynamics of platonic relationships, examining themes such as trust building, conflict resolution, and emotional reciprocity. Case studies and sociological perspectives illuminate how friendships mirror evolving identities and contribute to social well-being. Sam and Alex's friendship journey, navigating conflicts and celebrating milestones, highlights the importance of mutual respect and emotional reciprocity in platonic relationships. This case study underscores the role of shared interests, vulnerability, and empathetic listening in sustaining meaningful friendships. Insights from sociological research on social capital and community building elucidate the role of friendships in fostering resilience and collective well-being. By exploring the dynamics of friendship networks and support systems, individuals can cultivate inclusive communities and promote social cohesion. Practical strategies for cultivating authentic friendships include practicing empathy, honoring boundaries, and fostering effective conflict resolution skills. Techniques such as active listening, collaborative problem solving, and celebrating diversity empower individuals to build meaningful connections and contribute to positive social change. Societal interactions serve as mirrors of collective consciousness, reflecting cultural norms, systemic inequalities, and global interconnectedness. This subsection examines the complexities of societal dynamics, exploring themes such as identity politics, social justice movements, and cultural diversity. Case studies and anthropological insights illuminate how societal mirrors shape individual perspectives and contribute to transformative social change. Global activism movements such as environmental justice campaigns highlight the role of societal mirrors in raising awareness and advocating for systemic change. This case study underscores the power of collective action, intersectional solidarity, and grassroots organizing in addressing global challenges. To understand the illusion of boundaries, we must first grasp their nature. From the moment we are born, we are thrust into a world of distinctions, me and you, here and there, now and then. These distinctions create the framework through which we navigate our lives, providing a sense of order and structure. Yet, beneath this veneer of clarity lies a deeper truth. Boundaries are not inherent in the fabric of reality, but are constructed by the mind. Reality, as we perceive it, is a construction of the mind. Like a painter with a canvas, we use concepts, language, and categorizations to delineate our experience into manageable parts. Consider for a moment the simple act of naming. When we name something a tree, a river, a person, we create a boundary around it, defining its identity and separating it from everything else. This naming process is essential for communication and practical purposes, but also leads us to believe in the solidity of these boundaries. Language plays a crucial role in reinforcing the illusion of boundaries. Words are not just neutral labels, but carry with them layers of meaning, associations, and cultural contexts. When we say tree, for example, we evoke a mental image, a set of characteristics, and a place within our conceptual framework. This process of labeling and categorizing extends beyond objects to include emotions, thoughts, and even our sense of self. We say, I am happy, or I am sad, creating boundaries around our emotional states and reinforcing our identity. Central to the illusion of boundaries is the dualistic nature of the human mind. We perceive reality through a lens of opposites, good and bad, right and wrong, self and other. This dualistic thinking shapes our understanding of the world and ourselves, creating a sense of separation and division. It is this dualism that underpins much of our conflict, suffering, and misunderstanding as we perceive ourselves as distinct and separate from the world around us. If boundaries are a product of dualistic thinking, then liberation from them lies in transcending this dualism. Alan Watts often spoke of the interconnectedness of all things, emphasizing that boundaries are not absolute but fluid and permeable. In Eastern philosophies such as Zen and Taoism, this concept is expressed through the idea of non-duality, the realization that all apparent distinctions are ultimately illusions. In Taoism, the concept of yin and yang illustrates the complementary nature of opposites. Yin represents darkness, receptivity, and femininity, while yang symbolizes light, activity, and masculinity. These two forces are interdependent and in constant flux, blending seamlessly into each other. The Tao teaching teaches that to perceive the world through the lens of yin and yang is to embrace the fluidity of existence, transcending fixed boundaries and embracing the harmonious dance of life. Zen Buddhism employs koans, paradoxical statements, or questions to challenge the dualistic mind and provoke insight. Consider the famous koan, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" This question defies rational analysis and invites practitioners to experience a moment of direct perception beyond conceptual boundaries. Through meditation and contemplation, Zen masters guide their students towards a direct experience of non-duality, where subject and object merge into undivided awareness. One of the most profound illusions we create is that of the separate self, the ego. From a young age, we are taught to identify with our thoughts, feelings, and physical bodies, reinforcing the belief that I am distinct from you and they. This illusion of separateness gives rise to a myriad of desires, fears, and attachments as we strive to protect and enhance this fragile sense of identity. Yet, as Alan Watts eloquently argued, the ego is a social and psychological construct, a mask we wear to navigate the complexities of human interaction. If boundaries are constructs of the mind, then the path to liberation lies in expanding our awareness beyond these constructs. This process begins with mindfulness, the practice of non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Through mindfulness meditation, we cultivate a spaciousness of mind that allows us to observe thoughts, emotions, and sensations without clinging to them or identifying with them. In this state of open awareness, boundaries begin to dissolve, revealing the underlying unity of all things. At the heart of many mystical traditions lies the belief in a universal consciousness, a shared, interconnected field of awareness that transcends individual minds. This concept suggests that beneath the surface diversity of the world lies a fundamental unity where distinctions between self and other, subject and object, dissolve into pure awareness. Alan Watts often spoke of this unity as the web of life, a metaphorical tapestry in which each thread is essential to the whole. Relationships provide a fertile ground for exploring the illusion of boundaries. Whether with romantic partners, family members, or friends, we encounter reflections of ourselves in the eyes of others. These interactions can either reinforce our sense of separateness or serve as mirrors that reflect back our interconnectedness. Through compassionate listening, empathetic understanding, and genuine presence, we can transcend the limitations of ego and cultivate deeper connections based on mutual respect and shared humanity. Ecological consciousness, in its essence, is the awareness of the intricate interconnectedness and interdependence of all life forms and ecosystems on our planet. It transcends mere environmentalism or conservation efforts. Rather, it encompasses a profound understanding of our role as stewards of the earth and our responsibility towards future generations. In this section, we will delve deeply into the philosophical underpinnings, practical implications, and spiritual dimensions of ecological consciousness. Philosophically, ecological consciousness finds its roots in the recognition that human beings are not separate from nature, but an integral part of it. This perspective challenges the Cartesian dualism that has dominated Western thought, which posits a sharp divide between humanity and the natural world. Instead, ecological thinkers advocate for a holistic worldview that acknowledges the intrinsic value and rights of all living beings and ecosystems. Arneas, a Norwegian philosopher and founder of deep ecology, proposed a radical shift in human consciousness towards ecological awareness. Deep ecology goes beyond surface-level environmental concerns to advocate for a fundamental restructuring of human societies based on principles of ecological balance and sustainability. They coined the term ecosophy, referring to a philosophy of ecological harmony that guides human actions towards respecting and nurturing the Earth's ecosystems. Systems thinking, a framework rooted in ecological science, emphasizes the interconnectedness and complexity of natural systems. It encourages us to view ecosystems as dynamic networks of relationships, where changes in one part can have profound effects on the whole. This perspective challenges reductionist approaches that attempt to understand nature by isolating and studying its components separately. Ecological consciousness translates into concrete actions and practices aimed at promoting environmental sustainability and resilience. These actions encompass a wide range of initiatives, from individual lifestyle choices to global policy reforms. At the individual level, ecological consciousness inspires practices such as reducing consumption, recycling, composting, and adopting renewable energy sources. These practices aim to minimize one's ecological footprint and contribute to the conservation of natural resources. On a larger scale, ecological consciousness influences environmental policies and advocacy efforts. It calls for regulations that protect biodiversity, mitigate climate change, and promote sustainable development practices. Organizations and movements advocating for ecological justice and environmental rights play a crucial role in shaping these policies at local, national, and international levels. Beyond its philosophical and practical dimensions, ecological consciousness holds profound spiritual implications. Many spiritual traditions and indigenous cultures view nature as sacred and recognize the spiritual interconnectedness between humans, plants, animals, and the earth itself. Ecological spirituality emphasizes the sacredness of the earth and the interconnected web of life. It invites individuals to cultivate a deep reverence and respect for nature, seeing it not merely as a resource to be exploited, but as a source of inspiration, healing, and spiritual growth. Practices such as nature meditation, eco-friendly rituals, and ceremonies that honor the seasons and natural cycles are integral to this spiritual approach. Ecopsychology explores the relationship between human well-being and the natural environment. It suggests that a harmonious connection with nature promotes psychological resilience, emotional healing, and a sense of belonging. Practices such as ecotherapy, wilderness retreats, and eco-conscious communities foster a deeper bond with the earth and support mental and emotional well-being. Despite the growing awareness of ecological issues, significant challenges remain in fostering widespread ecological consciousness and enacting transformative change. Anthropocentrism, the belief that human interests outweigh all other considerations, poses a major obstacle to ecological consciousness. Overcoming this mindset requires a paradigm shift towards biocentric ethics, which recognizes the intrinsic value of non-human beings and ecosystems. The urgency of addressing global environmental crises, such as climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution, underscores the need for collective action informed by ecological consciousness. International cooperation, innovative technologies, and equitable solutions are essential in mitigating these challenges and securing a sustainable future for all life on Earth. Ecological consciousness represents a profound shift in human perception and behavior towards a more harmonious relationship with the natural world. It challenges us to transcend narrow self-interests and embrace a holistic vision of interconnectedness, sustainability, and reverence for life. By integrating philosophical insights, practical actions, and spiritual dimensions, we can cultivate a deeper ecological consciousness that honors the Earth's inherent wisdom and ensures the well-being of present and future generations. My friends, let us embark on a journey through the enigma of time, that elusive force which shapes our lives and molds our perceptions. From the cradle to the grave, we are taught to believe in the linear progression of time, where each moment leads inexorably towards a future where our desires are fulfilled, our dreams realized. But is this narrative of progress truly the essence of life's journey, or is there a deeper truth awaiting our discovery? To understand the illusion of progress, we must first grapple with the concept of time itself. In Western thought, time is often viewed as a linear arrow, moving from past to present to future in a relentless march towards some distant goal. This perspective permeates our educational systems, our career paths, and our personal aspirations. We measure our lives in years, months, days, counting down the moments until we achieve success, happiness, or fulfillment. But what if time is not a line but a circle, a spiral, or even a dance? Eastern philosophies such as Taoism and Zen offer alternative perspectives on time as cyclical, eternal, and ever-present. Drawing from these traditions invites us to consider time as a cosmic rhythm, a symphony of moments unfolding in harmony with the universe. In this view, each instant is pregnant with possibility, each breath a portal to infinite potential.